allotment. I'm here with Mark today. It is Sunday, the weather is dry, bit breezy, but dry and cool, perfect for a bit of allotmenting. So, Mark's been here about an hour already. He has been moving compost about, doing a few little jobs. He's taken some footage, so I will show you what he's been up to right now. So I'm playing catch up. I need to get some jobs done now. I am going to go around and just tidy up generally, take out old dead plants, take out things that are not going to do anything this year, just have a general tidy round and have a think about what I'm going to do and what I'm going to put where. As I said in a previous video, my dad's going to be coming back to the allotment this year and growing in a few beds as well, so it'll be nice to be sharing the space again with him. So yeah, so I'm just going to think about where I want things. I've got a rhubarb to find space for. I haven't brought it with me today because I'm going to pot it up first, but I think I have an idea of where I'm going to put some of my fruit, so I'm going to do that. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And while I'm doing that, if you are new here, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. Hit the like if you enjoyed today's video and leave me a comment. Also, I believe the hype function is now available on my channel, so if you do feel like being generous, I don't know what it does, all I know is it doesn't cost you any money. So, you know, if you want to do it, that would be great. I don't really understand it yet. But anyway, let's get on. So the first thing I need to do is just take out the very few weeds that are actually in these beds, and then I'm going to empty out these tomato pots. These had the hanging basket tomatoes in and they didn't do very well, but they did do well enough to leave a few tomatoes in there, so I do expect to get some volunteers. Next up, I'm tackling the dahlia bed. Now, I was planning to leave these in over winter. Unfortunately, when I came with my dad a couple of weeks ago, we realised that the tubers were visible on some of them, so I'm just having a look and digging out any that are rotten, and then just giving the beds a nice little weed. So, I've taken 3 out, there were 5 in there, some cosmos roots in there as well. The other 2 are quite deep, Sebastian and Lavender Perfection, so I'm gonna weed this bed and then give it a mulch, and we'll see. I don't mind leaving half a bed empty to see what comes up in the warmer months. I'll do that now. So I will probably leave this as a flower bed for cut flowers, again like I did last year. So I'll probably plant something like cosmos, maybe some cornflower at the other end of it, and then see if the dahlias grow up, and I'll make sure I've got some extra plants on standby just in case they don't. There's a couple of garlic plants in one of these beds that I've just left it in there. This is my carrot bed from last year. I am just taking everything out except my little chive plants. It's actually not too weedy. This is what you get with minimal soil disturbance or no dig. It's not really no dig for us here. I mean, it will be from now on, but it hasn't been over the last year because we've had to dig the soil into these beds. But yeah, so we're not doing too bad for weeds, but I am also aware that it is only the 1st of March today. This bed is my compost bed, where it's just compost, bought compost, and I'm just weeding it by hand because I don't want to contaminate the soil with my tools, but I did wash my gloves before I did this. I'm just trying to keep it club root free for as long as physically possible. And this bed is my sweet pea bed from last year. Now, I did decide that I'm not going to grow sweet peas on the allotment this year because they are a plant that needs picking. You need to pick sweet peas regularly, and when they're in flower, it is the school holidays, and it's when I can't actually get to the allotment as often as I'd like. So I've decided I'm going to grow sweet peas at home, and I will grow something else in here. Now, we've got these foxgloves that have self-seeded, and we'll probably get some poppies growing in here because they self-seed everywhere on the plot. And then I'll just see what else there is and add to it. So I'm just going to weed this bed, and if I find any other foxgloves anywhere that are in kind of not the ideal place, then I will dig them up and move them. But at the moment, I think the majority of my foxgloves are in my annual bed at the other side of the polytunnel, which is absolutely fine to have them there. So let's talk about strawberries. This is my newest strawberry bed from last year. These are runners that I dug out of the ground, yes, last year, that had set in the year before. So the variety of strawberries that I grow on this plot is marshmallow, and it is absolutely lovely. Highly recommend it. It used to only be available from Marshall's Garden Centre. Now they are available elsewhere. They are a really nice sweet variety. So this is our newest bed, and obviously that's got a bit weedy. Our first strawberry beds are here, and they have done what I said I wouldn't let happen again. The runners have gone into the ground. But yeah, this is how they're looking, 2 beds. These are going to be quite full now because, yeah, they're only small beds. Now, what I've been thinking is of taking all the strawberries out and putting them in this bed because nothing's really grown that well in this bed. But Mark, as you've just seen, he's taken all the mulch off this bed from our compost. This is our homemade compost, and popped it on here. This is actually 2 beds, but he's mulched over the brick wall as well, so you can't tell at the moment. So I'm not sure if this is going to be the best place or not. It'd be great to have them all together and give them a bigger space. However, obviously over there is a big pile of junk and debris and stuff, and so wildlife lives in there. And I have seen mice running around this area. Now, obviously mice can get to any part of the allotment anyway, but I don't know. I'm not going to do it today, so I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on it, because strawberries, I really love them, and I'd like to give them a bit more space. This is quite a deep bed. It's deeper than I can reach, so I would buy some of those little stepping stones and just make myself some little steps to, so that I can get in and harvest as well. We do tend to get nettles and brambles and bindweed from over there in here, so not sure. Let me know what you think in the comments. So this is the strawberry bed. Now really, these weeds were so deep rooted that it would have been much easier to dig it all out, separate the strawberries and then replant it. But because I'm going to be replanting the strawberries soon anyway, I didn't want to disturb them too much. So I got lots of very deep dandelions out, and then these creeping buttercup you can see here. I'm showing you the roots. Any little splits from those roots, any little fragments are going to create new plants. It's why we can never get rid of it. All we can do is keep digging it up. And those little fibrous roots, they just hold onto the soil and make it hard to get them out anyway. So you just got to do your best at getting them all out. And I'm just being careful with the dandelions, trying to get the roots up, and I've managed to get most of those out. So that looks a lot better now. And these are the old bean beds. Now these ones had nasturtiums in as well, and I did spot some nasturtium seeds in here, so I'm just left those in, because the more the merrier, frankly. Okay, so the rain is coming and I don't want my phone to get wet, so I'm going to give you a little tour, show you what's been done, and then I'll finish off camera. So obviously the beds here look great. I mean, is there anything more beautiful than a freshly mulched bed? This is future me just popping in to say, yes, a husband tidying out your greenhouse. That is more beautiful than a mulched bed. But Only just. Jerusalem artichokes had been dug up a little bit and eaten, so I've thrown the half-eaten ones on that compost bin, so don't be surprised if we have giant yellow flowers coming out of there in the summer. The bean beds have been weeded over. I think these will make nice brassica beds this year because they've had beans in. I've put the little foxglove in the centre of this bed. This bed hasn't been done, nor has that bed, although they're not too bad anyway. These beds have all either been weeded or just the odd few weeds that were growing in there pulled out. The little pots I had with tomato compost, the compost from the tomatoes, I've just dumped them on those beds for now. Stacked up the pots at the back there. The strawberry bed is weeded. This bed hasn't been done, but there's not much going in. Look at the amount of calendula seed there is though. So I know we're going to have a lot of calendula, I know we're going to have a lot of nasturtiums, and I know that we are going to have a lot of these again. So yeah, so these beds have been done as well. There's just my chives, my little chive plants in there. This bed is mostly done. Well, it's done. There's just a few little bits of leaves left in there. This is just compost. There's no soil in this. This is where I grew the kohlrabi last year. I wanted to keep one bed at least without the soil from here to keep the club root out. So I weeded it by hand just so that it didn't. Now, let's spin you around slowly. So I've sort of done a bit of mulch on the dahlia bed and taken out the rotten ones. Need to tidy those up before I go. Strawberries haven't done anything, but like I said, I'm going to wait to see what you guys think. The celery can come out now. Didn't really get harvested, a shame because it looked like it was great. This herb bed is probably going to be taken apart this year. I will probably move the sage, the rosemary, the sage and the lemon balm. And I need to think of something for this area because this is where we had the sunflowers last year, but they didn't do brilliantly, but again, dry weather. So we may build this up, I'm not sure. I just wanted to make sure I could weed this area, you know, by not putting like a bed in here and then having a bit of open soil at the back behind where I struggle to get to because the fence is here. So, yeah, we'll see. So we're forecast quite dry weather this week, so I should be back in the week several times really because there's a lot I want to get done. But I'll show you the state of the polytunnel because I haven't done anything in there for a little bit. I need to take that home. I've got something to plant up with that. Thanks, Mark. He's tidied up the this a little bit for my herb garden, but it's still a little bit too full at the moment, so we need to find a way to get rid of those stones. So we'll think about that. This needs work, and this is where I was thinking of putting my rhubarb, down at this bottom end here. This is where my dad had one before, and I dug it up thinking it was dead and threw it in the compost bin, and it started living in the compost bin. So yeah, don't be impatient. So there's a lot of self-seeding going on in here, a lot of weeds, but a lot of foxgloves. Hopefully there'll be antirrhinums like there is at home. There's my Shasta daisies that looked half dead last year seem to be okay. There's a perennial sunflower in here somewhere, but yeah, quite a few foxgloves, a lot of creeping buttercup as well. So we'll see. I might put some perennials in here as well. But Mark has done some great work. I should have been filming him rather than me. He's tidied off all these sort of little areas. We really need to sort this out. We'll end up with frog spawn in there before we get it in the pond. I don't want anybody falling in there, creatures wise. So yes, I wish I'd shown you before because this was a right mess. But it's tidied this off, haven't you?
Yes.
Done a good job as usual. Camera shy. Never. So he's got rid of my old gooseberries that were dead. This is where he's been tidying off in here. The fig tree that had been left is actually, can you see that? Go on, focus. He's actually still alive, amazingly enough. So yeah, so I'm gonna go tidy up my bits and bobs and then I'll meet you back at the greenhouse. Right, so we're just finishing tidying up, and when I say we, I mean that guy right there. And I'll be back in a few days. There's going to be a lot to do. and we're doing a lot in the garden at home as well, so hopefully videos will be quite a bit more frequently than there have been, and we are forecast dry weather for this week, so I'm hoping to get up here at least a couple of days. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Bye for now.